Today we are leaving the Peak Forest Canal.
This is such a special stretch of water for wildlife, views and wonderful walks. And in a way I'm pleased that the marble locks are shut because it gives me a great reason to come back and visit it again. My ultimate highlight in the 3 weeks that I've been here is when I spotted the dipper in the River Goit, and I went back to catch it swimming and demonstrating the power it has fighting against the river's currents. Soon we'll be heading off the Peak Forest Canal and turning back onto the Macclesfield Canal, and today's journey is going to take us past Braid Bar boat builders, which is why I thought it would be a good time to talk about how much a narrowboat would cost you to buy. And Zephyr and I take the rocky path up to Kinder Scout.
So we bought Alice Grace at £69,000.
She was actually for sale at £75,000. She was 3 years old when we bought her 5 years ago. She's 60 foot in length and can sleep up to 6 people, even though she only has one official bedroom. And Alice Grace is what you would probably call a middle of the range narrowboat. There are many factors that affect the price of a boat, from its paintwork all the way down to what engine it has and everything else in between. Things to consider when buying a narrowboat are: how much space do you really need? Are you going to be living on it full time? And do you want a restoration project? And are you very good at DIY? Because all of these questions, the answers will come up with something that's going to affect the price of what you're looking for. Suddenly the canal gets really busy, so I have to completely focus on what I'm doing. Some of you have asked me in comments, how on earth do you pass each other on narrow stretches? So you can have a look here at what happens when you do meet lots of other boats. I move right over to let this oncoming boat pass me, and then you can hear what happens next.
Let's see now if I can get her off.
Alice Grace was completely stuck because I moved over to the edge to let boats go past, and she isn't moving off the sandbank. I was told by Mike, another boater, that the Peak Forest Canal is cut into a V shape.
Reversing now all the way into the middle. That's the only thing we can do.
Even the heron seems to be raising his eyebrows at the fact that I'm going backwards instead of forwards.
Right, come on Alice, come on Alice. Yeah, that's it, she's off. You can see just on the top of Zephyr's head there how the water level has really dropped. We've not had rain for a couple of days.
And now it's just a matter of staying as much in the middle as possible until we get onto the Macclesfield Canal.
Isn't this house beautiful, overlooking the canal? Stunning. that affects the cost of a narrowboat is the electrical setup that you use. So narrowboat Alice Grace was slightly more expensive because she came with a Victron electrical setup.
It's a multiplus, which means it will invert, so you can run your electrical goods like computers, mobile phone chargers and that sort of thing. And also it will charge, so it will charge up the batteries if it's hooked onto shoreline or from the solar.
Oh, I'm going to miss these views. I'm really going to miss these views. The Peak Forest Canal, you are beautiful. Yesterday I climbed Kinder Scout with Zephyr. It's just over in the distance there. I've come to Edale with Zephyr today, just got off the train. The train was a bit busy to get the camera out, because I'd like to try to go up Jacob's Ladder, which is on the way to Kinder Scout. The only reason that I can walk freely across the land that I'm going to walk on today, and indeed other access land, is because of the 1932 mass trespass protest. Over 400 ramblers met up on Kinder Scout, which at the time was private land only accessible to grouse shooters. But it was their imprisonment and their reasoning for their protest that unleashed a wave of sympathy and fueled the Right to Row movement. We ramblers, after a hard week's work in smoky towns and cities, go out rambling for relaxation and fresh air, and we find the finest rambling country is closed to us. Our request or demand for access to all peaks and uncultivated moorland is nothing unreasonable. So this is it. I'm actually coming to Kinder Scout because I met some walkers coming up and they said it literally was here. So I don't know what sort of map I'm following, but I didn't realise it was this close. This whole plateau is Kinder Scout. Looking out over the rocks formed roughly 320 million years ago, and then looking more closely at what was living on them now, just blew my mind. Not long now until we get to service point and past Braebar boats. So it'll be really interesting to look at some of the boats coming out of the Braebar boat builders. Oh, That's a gorgeous sight.
I bought my 8-year-old boat 5 years ago, so I thought I'd have a look to see what sort of boat I could buy with the £69,000 I had 5 years ago. There were some lovely 60-foot narrowboats for sale at that price, around about that price, but they were about 10 years older than narrowboat Alice Grace. And some of you have asked me recently, would I buy an electric narrowboat? And the answer is yes, I would, but I'd have to win the lottery first, because even a used electric narrowboat is about £30,000 more expensive than what I paid for narrowboat Alice Grace.
When we bought Alice Grace, she hadn't that long been blacked, so that added to the price, but it meant that we didn't have to get her black for a couple of years afterwards.
Last year I tried an eco-friendly product called Keel Black on narrowboat Alice Grace, and I gave her 6 coats of the paint. So let's have a little look at how she is doing a year down the line. Well, she's still floating, so that's the first positive thing. Now apparently with Keel Black, weed isn't supposed to attach to the hull, but weed definitely still does attach to the hull. But on the whole, I'm really pleased actually with how the Keel Black is staying on. And then under the water, well, it's hard to tell, to be honest, so I'm just going to stick with is it still floating as a measure. This on the right hand side is the North Cheshire Cruising Club, and it was originally formed by a group of boaters as a way of presenting a combined front to the local council who wanted to impose rates on boat houses. Now, even though they weren't successful, they did end up creating the very first cruising club on the narrow canal systems of England.
Here's another boat for sale. I don't know if there's a price on it. Let's see if we can have a look. It's got big space out and back there for cruising. This is a Braid Bar boat.
This is a great spot for doing some boat beaming.
There's another Braid Bar boat called Freedom. Tim and Fire is a Braid Bar boat. Tim and Fire is a volcano in Lanzarote, which is still active, and you can go and cook chicken on it.
This row of boats tells the little story of how the fox couldn't give 2 hoots about the heron standing behind him. Now just behind this cafe is where you'll find Braid Bar Boat Builders. Where they have just received delivery of this gorgeous shell of a narrowboat, and it will take Braid Bar Boats about 6 months to completely fit this out and paint it so it becomes a beautiful home for someone to live in. Braid Bar boats are so popular that if you wanted to get your boat fitted out there, you'd be waiting until 2028 before you'd get a slot. So how much would a 60-foot brand new diesel narrowboat cost you? Anywhere between £150,000 and £250,000. Because I've got a little Etsy shop, I often have to post things, and I need to look for post boxes when I arrive at a mooring. This post box that I have accidentally discovered is one of the most exciting post boxes to get to, and I'll show you why. You can come with me today. Zaf, you like it, don't you?
Right, the first thing we're going to do, Zaf, is we're going to go along the towpath. But there's something missing, isn't there? Do you want to take your ball? Yeah? I'll get it, wait there. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to take the ball. Look at that tail go. Come on then. Alright, we're going to make a turn off the towpath here into a little secret lane. It's not signposted or anything, it's just a gap in the hedge through here. Just tucked behind this tree here, there's a signpost that shows you can go back down the canal. You can go on that way, but we're not going that way, we're going towards Higher Poynton. Zephyr loves it down here, and I'll show you why. We go past these huge leaves from the giant butterbur. We're going down here. Right. Look. This white carpet is garlic. It's flowering garlic. It is everywhere. Why this is a bit of an adventure is because the bridge that takes you across the footpath is closed. So this is how you would normally get across to the footpath over there. But you can't do that. So I discovered that you can actually cross the stream via these stepping stones. There's two other Labradors joining you. Don't give me the ball. So now we go through this way and across some more stepping stones. Two gorgeous bridges. Okay, we're going through the hanging sedge, which is just beautiful. There we go.
come out to road. Still got have to wait. Good girl, look that way, good girl. And look that way. Nothing coming, good girl, we can cross. Here we go. What an amazing journey. Then, just as we were going to turn around and head back to the boat, Zephyr lost her ball. Where did it go? Underneath? And there we were, the two of us, looking for ages for this ball, but it just wasn't to be found. So the only way I could get Zephyr to leave her hunt for it was by mentioning the fact that we had treats back on the boat. "I am rich," said Pipit, "for this moorland is my home. Green Tiger loves to visit, and all who choose to roam." "I have wealth," said Nuthatch, "for my brood tucked in this tree are safe from beaks that snatch, and there's much to catch for tea." "I have all required," came a voice across the drink, "to live the life desired, as long as I don't sink."